right, we're going to get started. If everybody would come in. Hello? Can you hear me? We're going to get started. For those of you who are looking for seats, if you're looking for seats, there are a number of seats up front. Please don't be shy. Come on up. Well, I hope you are all refreshed. I know teenagers get hungry a lot. I know it too well. Our next session is going to be flash presentations by Crossref staff, giving you really quick updates on some of the new projects that we've been working on. And so we're going to try to keep ourselves to 5 minutes, and hopefully there's somebody with a hook who's keeping an eye on that. Anna says she is, so she's tough. I'm Carol Meyer. I'm in business development and marketing, so I'm going to start us off with a branding session, and then we'll go on to the other sessions in your, I was going to say order of service, but really you mean your agenda. So let's get started, and the timer shall begin. Last year at the annual meeting, I gave a brief update about Crossref branding initiatives, and both Jeffrey and Ed have talked a little bit about what the issue has been. And so I just want to recap quickly. There's Crossref, and in the old days, a DOI was a Crossref DOI. And now you have Crossref, and then you have some people who understand what the International DOI Foundation is, but not very many. And there are a lot of other registration agencies that are creating DOIs. It's not just Crossref anymore. Bowker was an early participant. MEDRA and the European Publications Office have been assigning DOIs for quite a long time. DataCite has grown very fast and is assigning DOIs to data sets, mostly through data repositories. There are 3 organizations that are now assigning DOIs in Chinese language. The Japan Link Center, who's associated with a long-time sponsoring publisher of Crossrefs, is now assigning DOIs in Japanese. Movie Labs is assigning DOIs through the IDER, which is the Entertainment ID registry. Figshare and EasyID are assigning DOIs under DataCite. Bowker is no longer assigning DOIs. But as you can see, this DOI space is getting really crowded. And sometimes when I talk, I always refer to things as Crossref DOIs, and people get annoyed. Why do you have to do that? Why? That's not really branding. And the fact is that a DOI is only part of the issue. Registration agencies provide their own services associated with those DOIs. And so when you say DOI, you don't necessarily understand that you can access some of the services at Crossref, like our discovery services. You can actually send us metadata and we can send you back the DOI. Now, some of these organizations we actually have arrangements with. So, for example, for MEDRA and soon to be EasyID, we'll actually have the metadata at Crossref, so we will be able to provide those discovery services. There's no real reason for us to do that with Movie Labs, but we're trying to make these more interoperable. But right now, a DOI is not a DOI is not a DOI. A Crossref DOI says something a little bit different. We did a branding project with an organization called Aloft last year, and we basically went through branding strategy. The board, the staff, researchers, librarians, and publishers were all involved. And the idea was to simplify our message and simplify how we present ourselves. And so the result will be a clearer identity. We'll probably simplify the logo, although we're all very fond of the wavy lines. We're going to revamp the website, and we're going to replace our clever project names or service names with descriptive names, and we're going to have fewer logos. So the messaging very quickly is, and again, these are the goals: clarity, simplification, and distinctiveness. Crossref is a complicated thing to explain to people. None of our mothers really ever get it. And I don't know whether you told anybody, what you were doing, why you were coming to this meeting, like the border guard, right? You were coming to a publishing meeting, and what were you going to be discussing? It's not an elevator speech kind of thing, but we're trying to make it as simple as possible. So here's one way to cut it. Crossref enables these 4 things: linking, discovery and delivery, evaluation, and collaboration. And we do that for scholarly content. of all the types that you know. And we benefit researchers, libraries, aggregators, funding agencies, the public, and of course, scholarly publishers. And we do that through a number of services. First and foremost is reference linking, but along with that is cited by linking. For discovery and delivery, we have cross-ref metadata services and bibliographic management. We have cross-ref metadata search and some other things. These are not all ours. Some of these are third parties using our metadata in our services. For evaluation, we have cross-check to screen for possible plagiarism. We have Crossmark, which allows people to find out whether something has been changed since it was published, and also provides a lot of very rich non-bibliographic metadata about an item. We have funding data through FundRef. And in the collaboration space, you can probably multiply categorize some of these services, but we started with a pilot called Prospect. Now you can see we have a lot of logos, and the world and the market is a little bit confused about what Crossref is, and people refer to FundRef, the organization, and even internally, board members and staff sometimes say Crossmark when they mean Crosscheck, and Crossref when they mean Crossmark. So it is a little confusing, and it doesn't have a visual identity that's cohesive. So here's the plan. We're planning to phase out the individual service logos. And we're planning to rename the services to be descriptive. So Crosscheck will become Crossref Plagiarism Check. Crossmark will become Crossref Publication Record. This one we're actually going to keep the icon because it's out there on all of the participating publishers' sites, but we're going to deprecate the word Crossmark. With FundRef, we're going to change it to Crossref Funding Data. And Prospect, when we launched it, we never called Prospect. That was always a pilot title. And it's Crossref Text and Data Mining. So the only logos that will survive are the new simplified Crossref logo, which we haven't finalized yet, and the Crossmark icon. Just to make it clearer to read, these are the new service names that we'll be implementing over this year. So, I think I skipped the update slide, but what we're going to do is basically we're going to relaunch the website in the next 6 months. We're going to not port over all of our old material. We're going to start fresh, and we're going to have very little text and a lot more graphics and videos and explanations. We'll be rebranding all of our other marketing materials as well, so we hope that by this time next year, we'll be a completely newly dressed teenager. Thanks very much.